Do you believe in coincidence?
Hi, how are you doing, Hichem?
We're trying to forget that it's been a year since it happened.
That's why I insisted on talking to you today. I know it's been a hard year for the whole family. An anniversary can lead to breaking points.
We're doing well. Jessica took David to his football game, and we're trying to live the day as if it's like any other day.
Yeah, I understand. But sometimes remembering is the best way to relieve and healing, you know?
Doc, with all due respect, I think you can't understand our wounds. No one can. If you don't live it, there is no way you can understand it.
No, you're totally right. I'm sorry if I offended you in any way. I'm just saying that for you to fully recover, you need to face your reality and stop ignoring it, I think.
You probably know better than me. I will try to talk about it with Jessica and David, just to make sure David is doing good after the 1 year thing, you know?
I'm proud of you, Hichem. Unfortunately, I think we're approaching our time. I know this requires a lot of courage. Good luck on that.
Thanks, Doc. Take care.
Bye-bye.
From I'm so sorry 1234@gmail.com. Subject: an apology for what I've done. Hello, Mr. Khalfawi. I won't tell you my name. That's not important right now. What's important is what I've done and how sorry I am for doing it. I will be quick and honest. Emily is dead and I killed her. I would love to tell you it was quick and merciful, but it was neither. She died slowly and terribly. I've loved Emily for a long time, in what you might call an improper way. The hardest part was knowing she could never love me back, at least not in the way I loved her. I'd made passes before, just silly attempts really, but she was never receptive to my affection. She was disgusted by me, and that made me feel small and angry, though I can be thankful to the fact that she never told you about any of it. When all you've got is a fantasy that you think is unattainable, you spend lots of time refining it, like a sculptor chipping away at a statue. Sometimes it's hard to get there. Maybe it's another 15 minutes of torture, another scream, maybe it's a different tool added to the kit. I was patient, like a crocodile. I played the long game. I got Emily to trust me again with time. I let her be comfortable around me, let her drop her guard. She was on her way home from school when I finally took a chance and made my move. I picked up an old big piece of wood from the forest. I made a camp and prepared some metal pieces. I even lit a few candles for the romantic effect. More for myself than her when I think about it. Emily was apprehensive at first, but I managed to talk her into visiting the little cabin with me. The door was shut and bolted behind us before she ever even saw the gun I was holding. But when she did, she was a good girl and didn't scream. Though I must say, I was a little disappointed at that. Part of me thinks I only ever loved her because she was convenient, because she was accessible. I used a hammer, a knife, a pair of pliers, and a power drill. It all got messier than I expected. So much blood, so much other things. All in all, it took a few hours before she finally died, which was admirable. She never did let me have my fun. Emily was such a strong girl. You should be proud of her, Mr. Khalfawi. Once I was fully done with her and the euphoria of it all had passed, it dawned me with what terrible thing I've done. My pleasure turned to disgust, and all the sweetness that was inside of me while I was killing her turned sour. I realized that I wasn't meant to be a murderer, that it didn't suit me, that beyond the temporary pleasure of the act, the thought of taking someone's life repulsed me. I was a fantasist who made a terrible, terrible mistake, one that cost the life of a promising young girl. If there is a grand plan out there that we are all part of, I could feel that what I had done was a deviation from the natural law. I was disgusted at the act, at myself, The little experiment had backfired on me entirely. I was so out of depth. Once I'd gotten over the initial wave of fear and panic, I cut up Emily's body into smaller pieces that were easier to carry. I took all the pieces, wrapped them up, and burned them with lighter fluid in the woods. After that, I buried the bundle of shared bones and ashes, wishing I could have just forgotten all of it. Killing Emily and doing the things I did to her body were not acts of courage. I've realized that over the past year. They were acts of obsession and cowardice, of a person not strong enough to overcome their darker urges. I've been racked by guilt, surrounded by reminders of the life I've taken and can never give back. That's why I've decided to do the courteous thing and let you know that I've decided to take another life, mine. All I can ever be is a danger to the people around me, a time bomb destined to blow up and hurt another innocent. The only altruistic thing for a person in my position to do is take myself out of the picture. I am sorry for what I did to Emily. I don't expect you to forgive me, nor do I think I deserve it. I just hope this gives you some sense of closure and allows you to move on. My sincerest apologies.
Oh my god. What was that? Hichem, what's going on? Is David okay?
David?
Hichem! Is David okay?
David!
Hichem!
I opened the door, and I wish I didn't. They say no parent should have to bury their child. I buried both. That's hard for sure. But witnessing the crime scene is just unhuman. So I ask you again what I asked myself in that exact moment. Do you believe in coincidence?